Hello Zenith women and welcome to the channel. Solitude. It's a word that makes some people squirm and others exhale in relief. But for Sigma females, solitude is a necessity, a secret weapon, and maybe even a guilty pleasure. Studies show that people who enjoy being alone are often more self-sufficient and resilient than those who constantly need social interaction. But for Sigma females, alone time isn't just a recharge. It's where the magic happens. It's where they cultivate thoughts, strengthen their independence, and master the art of living unapologetically on their own terms. Now you might be thinking, really? Who wants to be alone that much? But we're talking about women who are wired differently. They'd rather be alone than stuck in shallow conversations or the never-ending cycle of social expectations. They find fulfillment in the quiet spaces where they can think, create, and live without interference. So why do these women love solitude so much? The reasons go way beyond needing me time. This isn't about escaping the world, it's about building a world that's truly their own. Let's dive into what makes Sigma females tick, and why, when they're alone, they're actually in the best company possible. Their own. Number 1. A sanctuary for raw thoughts. When a Sigma female is alone, her mind transforms into an untamed, limitless landscape where she can let her rawest thoughts roam freely. This isn't your average daydreaming, it's a deep dive into her inner world without filters, distractions, or the need to play nice. She doesn't have to worry about holding back or editing herself to keep others comfortable. It's a rare and powerful freedom to sit with her own mind, peeling back the layers of her ideas, beliefs, and even her doubts, and then facing them head-on. Alone, she gets to be entirely, unapologetically herself. In these moments, she might question everything she thought she knew or uncover some unpolished, radical insight that wouldn't dare surface in the presence of others. It's not that she's crafting these thoughts to impress anyone, far from it. This mental sanctuary allows her to think honestly, confronting things others might sweep under the rug. She'll dig into the whys and what-ifs with an intensity that might make most people's heads spin, and she'll emerge with ideas sharper than before, all refined through her own unfiltered scrutiny. The humor here? Let's just say that if people could peek inside her mind during one of these solo sessions, they'd probably be a little intimidated, and maybe even run for the hills. But for her, it's pure liberation. She's able to be unpolished and bold, indulging the parts of herself that often don't see daylight. In solitude, there's no need to dim her thoughts or shape them to fit in. She's free to explore and let her mind stretch out in ways that others would never understand. And honestly, she likes it that way. Number 2, freedom to explore the taboo. For a Sigma female, solitude isn't just an escape. It's her ultimate pass to explore the forbidden corners of thought most people would never dare approach. When she's alone, she's free to poke at topics others consider off-limits, a kind of mental mischief that thrills her far more than any small talk ever could. It's here in her private time that she gets to challenge social taboos, dissect unspoken rules, and unravel ideas that would make others clutch their pearls. No one's watching, so she doesn't have to worry about raised eyebrows or disapproving glances. She's free to think as boldly and wildly as she wants. While some people might hesitate to entertain thoughts that could raise questions or seem controversial, she dives straight in. Why stop at the surface when there's so much more beneath? Alone, she's got the freedom to explore big questions, dark thoughts, or even wildly impractical ideas. There's a daring, almost rebellious pleasure in this for her, because these ideas aren't for anyone else. They're for her, and her alone. She's not out to start a revolution, well, not usually. She just enjoys the mental thrill of touching on the topics most people steer clear of. There's a bit of humor here too, because honestly, if anyone could hear her inner monologues, they might think she's plotting something wildly dramatic. But really, she's just giving her mind the space to roam without fences. It's a little irreverent, definitely independent, and unapologetically her. While most people are busy avoiding anything uncomfortable, she's already cracked it open and dissected it from every angle. To her, this isn't just thinking, it's adventure. In these quiet, private moments, she gets to be as daring as she wants, exploring thoughts most people wouldn't dare let cross their minds. Number 3. Efficiency in energy conservation. For a Sigma female, alone time isn't just a preference, it's a strategy. While others may scatter their energy across a dozen social obligations, small talk, and casual friendships, she's all about conserving hers for things that truly matter. Solitude becomes her way of sharpening her focus, her energy, and her sense of purpose. She isn't interested in draining herself on surface-level interactions or endless social gatherings. Instead, she sees her energy as a limited, valuable resource that's worth guarding fiercely. Being alone lets her stay in control of where that energy goes. When she's alone, she's able to drop the pretense, the people-pleasing, the constant effort of staying engaged in conversations she may not even care about. She can simply exist without expending herself on keeping up appearances or handling others' needs and expectations. This time alone is where she recharges, and it's also where she prioritizes herself over any outside demands. She knows that her energy isn't limitless, so she doesn't waste it on connections that feel forced or unnecessary. In solitude, she's more efficient, more productive, and more aware of where her efforts truly belong. She pours her energy into things that genuinely fulfill her or bring her closer to her goals. This isn't about being selfish. It's about knowing herself well enough to understand where she thrives. By staying selective with her time and attention, she ensures that her energy is spent only on what truly matters to her. In a way, her solitude acts as a shield, a way to protect herself from the constant pull of the world around her. She knows her energy is finite, and by embracing solitude, she's choosing to use it wisely, on her own terms. Number 4. The power of undisturbed focus. For a Sigma female, solitude is the ultimate power-up for her focus. When she's alone, she can dive into her thoughts without anyone pulling her in a dozen directions, allowing her to lock on to what matters with laser-like precision. In these moments, distractions vanish, and her mind settles into a zone that's almost impenetrable. She has no interruptions to break her flow, no voices to steer her off track, and no opinions to muddy her ideas. She's fully in control of her mental space, free to go as deep as she wants without anyone barging in or derailing her. This undisturbed focus is more than just a productivity boost. It's the foundation of her creativity and problem-solving. She knows that the best insights don't come from multitasking or quick conversations. They come from uninterrupted time with her own thoughts. Alone, she can peel back the layers of complex ideas, take things apart, and put them back together in ways most people wouldn't even think of. Her solitude allows her to access a clarity that's hard to find in the middle of constant chatter or social noise. It's in this quiet, focused state that her best work often happens, whether it's a creative project, a tough decision, or simply understanding herself on a deeper level. There's also a bit of a secret satisfaction in this. She knows she can accomplish more in an hour alone than some people manage all day surrounded by others. It's like having a personal superpower that only activates when she's in her own company. While others might think solitude is dull or isolating, she knows it's her strongest ally. Being alone isn't her way of escaping. It's her way of honing her mind and sharpening her skills, turning solitude into a secret weapon for mastering whatever she sets out to achieve. Number 5. Self-reliance as a lifestyle. Self-reliance isn't just a trait for a Sigma female, it's the foundation of her life. When she's alone, she taps into a level of independence that feels essential to who she is. There's a deep sense of satisfaction in knowing that she doesn't need anyone else to get things done or to make her feel whole. Solitude gives her the freedom to rely solely on herself, and that's exactly how she likes it. This independence means she's her own strongest support, her own best motivator, and her own most honest critic. Alone, she finds strength in her ability to navigate life's challenges without leaning on others. This self-reliance isn't just about proving she can stand alone. It's a commitment to herself, to build her own path, to trust her own instincts, and to handle her own setbacks. She's aware that depending on others can sometimes mean sacrificing control over her own life, and that's a compromise she's rarely willing to make. Alone, she's free to tackle her goals without anyone questioning her choices or imposing their own expectations on her. She owns her successes, but just as importantly, she owns her failures. This ability to face everything head-on, without waiting for anyone to help or guide her, sharpens her resilience and makes her even stronger. Relying on herself also lets her truly understand her own limits and abilities. In solitude, she learns more about what she's capable of, how far she can push herself, and where her boundaries lie. She isn't afraid of standing alone because she's built a solid trust in herself. For her, self-reliance isn't about isolation. It's about liberation. Alone, she's fully in charge, able to depend on herself in ways that go beyond simple independence. It's a deep, unbreakable bond with herself, one that she values and fiercely protects. Number 6. Mental clarity in chaos. For a Sigma female, solitude isn't just peace and quiet. It's the path to finding clarity amidst life's inevitable chaos. When she's alone, she's able to strip away the noise, the opinions, and the countless pressures that come from others. In this space, she can untangle her thoughts, process her emotions, and make sense of her life without interference. Solitude offers her a rare calm that allows her mind to settle, revealing insights that get buried in the rush and noise of everyday interactions. She values this clarity deeply because, in a world that's constantly pushing and pulling her, it's one of the few things she can control. When she's by herself, she can take the time to reflect, to reconnect with what she truly wants, and to recognize what's actually important. It's here that she's able to break down her thoughts, analyze her experiences, and gain an understanding of what drives her. Solitude helps her see her life's challenges and decisions with a sharper lens, one that isn't fogged by the influence of others or by fleeting emotions. This mental clarity isn't something she finds in crowded rooms or in conversations filled with advice and judgment. It's something she cultivates on her own, in her own time. This time alone allows her to confront any inner conflicts or uncertainties without distraction, facing herself fully. It's a kind of self-examination that requires honesty and courage, but for her, it's essential. She comes out of these moments with a stronger grasp of who she is and what she wants. Solitude isn't about isolation or withdrawal. It's her way of creating order within herself. Through these quiet, reflective moments, she builds an unshakable sense of direction that lets her navigate life with confidence, no matter how chaotic the world around her may be. Number 7. Complete ownership of success and failure. For a Sigma female, being alone isn't just a preference. It's essential for owning both her successes and her failures. Solitude gives her the space to fully recognize her role in everything she achieves and everything she falls short of. When she's alone, she has no one else to credit or blame. She understands that her life is her responsibility, and she doesn't shy away from that fact. This mindset of complete ownership is what sets her apart. She's not looking to share the weight of her victories or hide from the consequences of her mistakes. She knows that true growth requires standing by her choices, whether they lead to success or stumble into failure. In solitude, she reflects on her actions without the filter of anyone else's perspective, which allows her to see things clearly. There's a powerful honesty in facing her wins and losses alone, without the comfort of outside validation or reassurance. When she succeeds, she can fully embrace the sense of pride that comes from knowing it was her own hard work, focus, and dedication that got her there. And when things don't go as planned, she confronts her missteps directly, looking at what went wrong and how she can improve. She doesn't look for scapegoats or make excuses. She knows that every experience, good or bad, is part of her journey. This approach makes her resilient and grounded. By owning every part of her path, she builds a stronger understanding of herself and her capabilities. She trusts her decisions, knowing they are hers alone. Solitude lets her experience the depth of her achievements and the hard lessons of her failures without interference. This independence in taking full responsibility is empowering for her. It reinforces her confidence and commitment to living authentically, on her own terms, and with full accountability. Number 8. Creative dominance. For a Sigma female, solitude is where her creativity thrives. Alone, she doesn't have to navigate other people's ideas, expectations, or limitations. She has complete freedom to let her thoughts roam without restriction. This private space allows her to dive deep into her mind, exploring ideas that she might keep hidden from the world. Here, her creativity isn't influenced by trends or popular opinions. It's raw, authentic, and deeply personal. She creates for herself first, unrestricted by what anyone else might think. This independence in her creative process means that what she produces isn't just unique, it's a true reflection of who she is. When she's alone, her mind can wander in ways that social settings rarely allow. She's able to lose herself in thoughts, play with concepts, and experiment with possibilities without anyone interrupting her flow. This is where her most original ideas come to life, in a space untouched by the noise and distractions of the outside world. Whether she's writing, painting, designing, or problem-solving, her creativity blossoms in the quiet of her own company. She doesn't need an audience or validation to fuel her creativity. Solitude is the only fuel she requires, giving her the space to dig deeper, challenge herself, and refine her vision. In these solitary moments, she's able to take risks that others might not understand. There's no one to question her choices or limit her potential, and that freedom is essential for her creative growth. She's constantly refining her work, pushing her boundaries, and exploring new dimensions of her talent. Solitude, for her, is a sanctuary for creative dominance. It's where she can experiment without judgment, make bold choices, and produce work that's entirely her own. Through this time alone, she finds not only inspiration but a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that her creativity is truly hers to shape and own. Number 9. A private laboratory for self-mastery. For a Sigma female, being alone transforms into a private laboratory for self-mastery, a crucial aspect of her personal growth. In this space, she can dissect her thoughts, emotions, and experiences without interruption. This isn't just about passing time. It's a dedicated process where she analyzes what makes her tick. Every moment alone is an opportunity to explore her strengths, confront her weaknesses, and experiment with new ways of thinking and behaving. This meticulous examination of herself allows her to cultivate a deeper understanding of her motivations and desires. Being alone enables her to reflect on past decisions and their outcomes, learning from them without the influence of others' perspectives. It's in this intimate environment that she can truly face herself, embracing both her triumphs and failures. Each lesson learned becomes a building block in her journey towards self-mastery. She's not afraid to confront uncomfortable truths or acknowledge areas where she needs improvement. This honesty is essential for her growth. In this personal laboratory, she experiments with various strategies for personal development. Whether it's setting new goals, practicing mindfulness, or engaging in creative outlets, each endeavor contributes to her ongoing evolution. She's constantly refining her methods, testing new ideas, and finding what resonates with her. This proactive approach means she takes her development into her own hands, rather than relying on external guidance or validation. As a result, she emerges from these moments of introspection, not just more knowledgeable about herself, but more resilient and empowered. She learns to trust her instincts, make decisions with confidence, and adapt to challenges with grace. This journey of self-discovery and mastery isn't just a phase. It's a lifelong commitment to becoming the best version of herself. Being alone isn't merely a preference. It's a powerful catalyst for transformation that shapes her identity and defines her path forward. Number 10. Refinement of selective socialization. For a Sigma female, being alone offers the perfect opportunity to refine her selective socialization. In a world filled with noise and distractions, she understands the value of choosing her companions wisely. While many may feel compelled to engage with everyone, she deliberately curates her social circle, focusing on quality over quantity. This approach allows her to invest her time and energy only in relationships that genuinely enrich her life. Each interaction becomes meaningful, contributing to her growth and well-being rather than detracting from it. Being alone provides her the clarity needed to evaluate her relationships critically. She takes the time to reflect on who adds value to her life and who drains her energy. This process involves asking tough questions. Does this person inspire me? Do they respect my boundaries? Are they supportive of my ambitions? By carefully assessing her connections, she can eliminate toxic influences and nurture those that uplift and empower her. This isn't just about distancing herself from negativity. It's about creating a supportive environment where she can thrive. When she chooses to socialize, it's intentional. Each interaction is an opportunity for meaningful conversation and shared experiences. She seeks out individuals who challenge her intellectually and resonate with her values. This selective approach allows her to form deep, authentic bonds that stand the test of time. Being alone empowers her to be discerning, ensuring that every relationship she fosters is rooted in mutual respect and understanding. In a world that often equates social interaction with fulfillment, Sigma females redefine what it means to thrive by embracing the power of being alone. Their solitary moments are not just an escape. They are transformative opportunities that foster raw thoughts, creative brilliance, and profound self-awareness. By harnessing the tranquility of their own company, they cultivate an environment where mental clarity reigns, allowing them to confront both their successes and failures head-on. This journey of self-mastery empowers them to refine their social connections, leading to a life enriched by authentic relationships rather than superficial acquaintances. Being alone is not a sign of loneliness for Sigma females. It's a source of strength, independence, and authenticity. They understand that true growth stems from introspection and self-reliance, which ultimately shapes their identity and guides their choices. In their world, solitude becomes a sanctuary where they can explore the depths of their creativity and hone their unique qualities without distraction or judgment. As they navigate life on their own terms, Sigma females demonstrate that being alone is not only acceptable but profoundly liberating. Their ability to thrive in solitude sets them apart, enabling them to forge a path defined by intentionality and purpose. In the end, it is this remarkable capacity to embrace solitude that not only empowers them, but also inspires others to rethink their perceptions of connection and fulfillment. Through their journey, they reveal that true strength lies in self-discovery and the courage to walk one's own path, inviting everyone to join them in celebrating the beauty of being alone. If you've enjoyed exploring the depths of what it means to be a Sigma female and the extraordinary power of embracing solitude, then you won't want to miss out on our future content. Subscribe to the channel for more insights that challenge the status quo and delve into the unique traits that make Sigma females truly remarkable. By subscribing, you'll join a community that values authenticity, personal growth, and the celebration of individuality. Don't just be a spectator, be part of the conversation. Hit that subscribe button, and let's embark on this journey together, discovering what it means to live life on our own terms. Your adventure into empowerment and self-discovery starts here. Thanks for watching, and bye.